I didn't. Okay, so now what we have is we actually have this configuration. That all of these edges have been reduced basically. These centers have been reduced. And I've got the edges in here. So the next step to my curvy copter solve is I then place these guys. These are the corners. The corners are fairly straightforward. It's the easiest part of it. So here's a red, white, and green, which is going to go here. No. Yeah, it's going to go here. And I'll just check to see if I move it up. If I see that it doesn't match, I take a little journey all the way around the bottom. I do a 180-degree turn here, 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 and here until it pops up back, and then I see if it fits. If it doesn't, then I do it again. Turn, then I see if it does, and it does. But I've got to do it supercube style to correlate with this edge, so I take it out of the way, bring this down, move this in, bring it up, and it's in. And I just keep doing that all around the puzzle. So this guy comes into here, doesn't fit, so I take a little journey around, see if it fits. Yep. So it's a very fun, fast-moving puzzle. So now this is in. This guy comes up to here, and you can see it fits. So out of the way, line it up with the edge. This orange lines up with this, bang. And now we take this guy, and same thing with the green. This is in, but it's in wrong. Actually, this is wrong as well. Let me just get this back. Okay. Right, this obviously doesn't correlate with it, so I'm going to keep swinging this around until it matches with the red. That way I don't have to keep checking myself. Matches with the red and up. Okay, so now we have this part. We put the corners in. The next step is to put these guys in. These are the corners. That's what represents that in a layer by layer solve. These here represent these centers. So I guess I should have pointed that out too. When you look at this face, these two represent the top centers, and these represent these middle centers. So that when I move this, it's like moving this. And when I move this, that's like moving this. So this and this is like moving this and this, where I'm carrying these corners with each move. This is for those who really like the whole mind-bending shape mod aspect of it. But I'm going to do the same way. So I'm looking for the white and blue. Is it already here somewhere? Right over here. I see a white and blue over here. So this is just a matter of moving it in, really. Let's get it out of the way from here. Okay, can I just pop it in? Yep, so there it is. Next is white and green. You can see this is the white and green. It's got white and green in it, but it's rotated wrong. So I'm going to bring it down. Same thing. I'm going to send it around on a little journey. It's not going to disrupt anything or pull anything out. And then place it, you can see that it's in. So what I did is I just made it go all the way around the center here, just the same way I did with this guy. Same thing here, white and beige, or green and beige rather, right over here. So let's move this into place, just below here, move it up, and you can see it doesn't belong. So I'm going to move it down. Now I'm basically going to keep turning it around all these other edges until I bring it back towards here, and bang, you can see it's in there. So it moves from here to here. So I'm really just taking it all around with these edges from the bottom. That's these edges. These guys here. Okay, so I have one more to go. You can see it's the right colors but in the wrong place. So I'm going to bring it down to here, and once again just keep doing 180-degree turns on these bottoms until you see if it belongs, and it does. Okay, so you'll kind of get the hang of that. When I do my 180-degree turns, it's not going to mess anything with here. No more than turning these guys around messed with anything over here. So now we have this configuration. The next step is putting these guys in, which represents these. Now how do I do that here? Well, first thing to do is when I'm looking for yellow, so anything within the orbit here, and I don't see it. Just for the ease of demonstration, let's show one that is in the orbit, which is this guy here. And the way this is going to work is I move it down so that I can move this in, but I take the corner and I move the corner out of the way. Now I move this in, so it's in, move the corner back, and then move this up. So you can see this is now in. It's as simple as that. As another demonstration, this is in the right orbit, so I'm going to move this down to get it just kind of on the layer below that. Move this down so I can accept it, get the corner out of the way. Now move this into place, put the corner back, and move this in. So you can see this is in place. This is already in place. Now what about the yellow? I don't see that there's a yellow in here, so that means I've got to do some jumbling. So what yellows do I have that can go into one of these spaces? Well, I can see that this is next to this area over here, so I could jumble that in there. We're a little bit close though to the action here, but we could do that. I can go like this, and I can go like this. The only problem is that these two will change, but I'm going to end up swapping these guys. So if I didn't want to do that, I'm actually going to just move these back in just so I don't get confused. And we could do that and just do some fixing with that. Otherwise, what else can I move next to here? Is there a yellow that I can move next to here? Well, I'll tell you what, here's a yellow that I can potentially use. Let's just bat this out. This is within the right orbit, so I'm going to take this out, bring this down, corner out of the way, move this in, corner back in, splat. Okay, so that's there. Okay, getting back to here, this is next to where I want it to be, so I'm simply going to move this to the side, move this to the side, go ahead and single jumble my way in, then move this over here, so move this back, so we're good. So this is in the right orbit, this is in place, out, turn, back, up, and in. Alright, we just have the red ones, so this is again by way of demonstration, so it's otherwise easy to place. But why don't I do this, because this red is next to here, so turn, turn, do my single jumble maneuver, back and back. So now I know this red is where it needs to be. Down, across, up, bang, splat. That's in. A final red. Well, this is next to it, so at least I know that I can try to do that. Oh, but you know what? I already have one here, so no worries. And up. Okay, so in so doing, I now have this whole, whoop, I spoke too soon. Turn, 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 turn. Okay, now I have all of these layers in. We'll just turn this back here. This first layer in. So that means putting these in, which are the edges, and then putting these in. Now I can't do them both at the same time. I have to do one and then the other. But if I put these in first, I'm going to mess it up when I put these in because they're going to jumble the same way. But let's see what we've got. So we've got this beige and orange. I'm going to look down here to see if it's in the right, and it is. So I'm going to move this here. Same kind of thing. I'm going to coordinate it with the corner. So I move it down, move the corner out of the way like I did with the curvy copter, then move this edge in, move the corner back, and move it up. And it's as simple as that. So you see this is all in over here. Let's put this one in now. So this is going to be the beige and purple. You can see it's in here. Same thing. We have to move this down one. Move it down, corner out of the way, bring it up, corner back, bring it in. Okay, so we have to keep track of what we're doing. Next is going to be the blue and orange. Did we get lucky again? And nope, not so lucky. So we're going to have to single jumble it back. Let's first find the blue and orange. Right over here. So I have to put it in a state to where it's going to match up with one of my orbits over here. Luckily, I think I found one, which is here. So I'm going to move this up So this center is going to correlate these two. So this will move up here, this will move down here, and I simply single jumble it in. Then I can move this down and move this up. So now we're in the proper orbit. So bump it out of the way, bring it down, get the corner out of the way, move my edge up, move this in, and move this here. So it's a really fun variation because it's really just a fun curvy copter solve, but with a shape mod. Okay, pink and blue, we don't see it, which is good because it makes it more fun. Okay, so I've got this here. So we have to correlate this orbit with what we have to put in over here. So let's see, how can I match this up? Well, I got this center, which will really fit the bill. Now sometimes you have to fight to find the center, but just keep plugging away, you'll find it. So there it is, bring it down, move this down, get this corner out of the way, move my edge in, move the corner back, and move this up. Okay, so this is in white and pink right here, so it's mercifully unjumbled. Same pattern, and now white and red, and aha, something more exciting, and that's over here. So I've got to single jumble it back to here. Now again, I don't want to do it like this because it'll end up upside down unless I have this in a jumbled position with something else. So I can't just do that, as you can see. So let's see if we can correlate this, bringing it where we need to bring it. Okay, so this maybe can correlate with this center. So what I'm going to do is this will roll into here. Well, actually, I got something better. This will come to here. You can see this is kind of in a jumbled position. It doesn't quite fit. And this I'll pull up to here. As long as I have them both in jumbled positions, it won't be upside down. Turn this like so, and turn this back. Okay, so now this should be in position, and it is. So turn it down, corner out of the way, edge in, corner back, pair is brought up. Okay, so this represents this. Now, it's not quite there yet. Actually, do I have more? Yeah, I've got more to do. Thought I was done. So green and red. Nope, we got to jumble it back, so let's see how this is going to work for us. First we got to find it. Right over here, green and red. So let's get it closer so we can visualize it better. So it's got to make it in with this crowd over here. So what I can do is move this up so that it can be opposite this guy here. If I move this in like so. So this is postured to do what it's got to do. Put it in. I think I'm going to have to fudge it a little bit. And then bring it down. And then this is fine. So now this should be in the proper position. Edge down, corner out, edge in, corner back, pair up. And finally, green and purple. Is it going to give me trouble? It's going to give me a little trouble. Green and purple is over here. So let's see, we have to, let's bring it to this center here. Now the only problem is that I'm putting it in with this edge, so this corner rather, so this corner is going to end up in trouble. So I'm going to use this instead. This comes up, this comes across, double jumble it in, this comes back, and now we're where we need to be. Down, edge down, corner out, edge in, corner back, pair up. Okay, so these are all fine. Now, I can't say that it's completely in this configuration because although I've got these center areas in, I mean, they're edges in this puzzle, but they're really centers in this puzzle. To really say that I have these in, I would actually have to put this in as well. Now at this point, I do not recommend putting all of these in because it's going to mess things up when you have to put these other edges in. And you can actually stop putting these in now and save it to the end. I prefer to continue the process. So I'm just going to put these parts of the next centers in. It's really not that difficult, but it sticks with my layer by layer approach. So I'm not putting the whole centers in, just these parts. So I'm going to start off with this beige and orange. I'm looking for the beige and orange color. I don't see it here. Glance to my right, beige and orange right here. So this piece has to come into here, and I can tell that it's going to be the blue center that's going to be here. So if I move this in, you can see that this beige and orange ends up here. So I'm just going to move this down so that beige and orange will end up over here. Now I have to be cognizant of what centers I'm going to be pulling into this algorithm. But I'm going to do a 2R. You can see it places it. Swing it to the left. 2L. Swing it back to the right. 2R. Swing it back to the left. 2L. And then swing it back. So now this is in. I've got to remember to put this back where I found it. So there it is. Now I know the blue is here, so I just have to find the blue, beige, and purple. So glance over here. Blue, nope. How about down here? Right over here, blue, beige, and purple. So I just have to position this in such a way that it comes into this area here. I have to position both. So I'm going to have to put them back when I'm done, but it shouldn't be too hard to remember. Okay, so if I move this into here, this will be properly placed. Now when I move it to the left, notice this is going to be participating in the algorithm. We don't want to do that because it's going to mess this up. So what I'm going to say is this. In this part of the center, only these two are going to participate in the algorithm. But I'm not using these for anything else. So I'm just going to go kersplat. Because these are not going to be messed up here, but these will be messed up, but we don't care. So just take this and move whatever you want to participate in the algorithm to the top side here. Then I'm going to move it in from the right rather, to R, swing it to the left, to L, swing it back to the right, to R, swing it back to the left, to L. You can see that that's all fine. Move this back over here, and now I can take this and go splat. And move that back. See, no harm done. This is now in. And I can go 1, 2. And if we've got to move this back, we shall. So as you can see, getting back to my home base, this is now placed. This is placed over here. So let's move it over to here. I'm looking for the orange and green. See if I find it here. Nope. Glance to the right. Orange and green. Orange and blue, rather. Right over here, so I can tell it's going to be the yellow center. So this needs to make it to here, so I'm just going to turn it to do that. Now be cognizant of what else is going to participate. It's going to be this. I don't want this piece to participate, but I don't care what happens here. I've not placed those yet, so I'm simply going to turn this up here so that this will participate. Okay, so 2R, swing it to the left, 2L, swing it to the right, 2R, swing it to the left, 2L, and swing it back. So you can see that we've placed this. Well, we'll put this back in its configuration, and now we can move this back where it was. Boom, right over there. Okay, did we turn this at all? No. Okay, so getting ourselves back to our center, this was fine. This is now placed. Now I need to find the yellow, pink, and blue. So I'm looking for yellows now. Not here. Glance over here. Yellow, pink, and blue. So it's this guy. So we need to configure the yellow, pink, and blue so it'll roll to here. So I've got to move this over here. And now I'm going to move this over here. So this will come into this area here. Being cognizant of what happens here, nothing is of importance over there as of yet. So move this in. 2R, swing it to the left, 2L, swing it to the right, 2R, swing it to the left, 2L, swing it back, but you could just place this back in here. Did I move anything else? I did move this, I'll just move this back in. So now we've got this in. Coming over to here, I'm looking for the white and pink. Can't find it here. Glance to the right, white and pink, so obviously it's a green center that's going to be here. So I'm going to move this up. And it's got to make it to here, so I'm going to move this over here. So this will move to here, glancing at what's going to participate in the algorithm. This will, I don't want it to, but these two I don't care about. So I move it over here, 2R, swing it to the left, 2L, swing it to the right, 2R, swing it to the left, 2L. Okay, so this is in, this we can move back. That was just for practice, there we go. And now this we move back also. Boom. Okay, find the green, white, and red right over here. Alright, so we just have to move this in place. Now we're going to do the same kind of thing with the center. Move it in, turn, move it in, turn. So you've got different types of strategies for different types of faces. And it's the variability of the solve that makes it exciting. Turn and turn. Okay. And this turns back. Alright, so we've got this in, these two in, these two. This third is in too, but we don't care about that yet. Now we do this one. Oop. Yeah, see, at some point we move that out, but no worries. So green and red. Green and red, glance over here. Green and red, nope. Glance over here. Green and red, glance down here. Green and red, so this obviously is white. That's going to be up here. So let's move my green and red into a configuration that'll match up with this. Okay, so I got to move this up to here. Now this left side, this is going to participate, but there's nothing that I can move around here. So what can I do? Well, again, I don't care about what's happening here. I haven't put any of those in. All I care about is the green and red that's going to end up over here. So what I'm going to do is take this and simply move it down, so that in that way this will participate in the algorithm and be messed up. So swing 2R rather, swing the U to the left, 2L, swing it to the right. So this sliding U technique is basically a way of taking these corner pieces and moving them where you want it. And move it here. I got to be careful to move this back. And then I'm just going to move in all the face turning areas back as well, so I don't get confused. Okay. So now I need the other white. So I'm looking for the green and purple. Glance over here, it's actually going to be white. This is blue and purple, so it's not that. Green and purple. It must be on all the way on the other side. So it's all the way on the other side over here. It's okay, I just have to remember what I'm going to turn. I just have to remember that I'm moving this over here so that this is in the proper area. So this needs to make it to here. So I'm going to move this in this configuration and move this in this configuration. That way, there we go. That way it'll be where it needs to be. Okay, this will participate. Now, do I care about these guys yet? And I don't think I do. So I'm just going to move that down. And let's very quickly do the algorithm before I get too confused. Move it in from the right, swing it to the left, move it to the left, back to the right, swing it from the, do it to the right, swing it to the left, back to the left, and then swing it back. Now let's very quickly get this back over here. Now let's move in some of these pieces that I moved out. As for this, this came over to here. And I believe, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I went like this. Okay, coming back to the center here. Now you can see that all these are in, so we have pretty much half of the puzzle done. So this is correlated with this. This is what that looks like. And all of these guys are done over here.